Yo, what's going on, guys? John Sprint Collectibles, welcome in. Thanks. What's up, Big L? How you doing? Big L, how was your next show? Sorry, I missed it. Yeah, terrible lighting. Shalom, SoCal. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for my giveaway. Oh, awesome. User. All right, sweet. You know what's funny is I wasn't sure what to give you because I kept asking you during the stream, and I wasn't sure. So I'm glad you loved it. I was thinking Pokemon for the kids. I thought you said. You can never go wrong with Pokemon for the kids, right? Guru Garbage, welcome. Guys, remember you can learn a lot. Wait, every time I give say something like an 80s or 90s commercial comes in my head. You can learn a lot from what's the rest of that? Hold on, it's like a negative one though. You can learn a lot. God, what is that one? I was gonna say you can learn a lot from collectors like Guru Garbage, because I wouldn't have brought on license plates if it wasn't for Guru. Or there's a guy named Old Butt Money, not Old Butt Money, who collects patches. What was it? A dummy maybe? Is that what I'm trying to say? You have one tonight. Okay, guys, check out Big Al. Give him some support, guys. Big Al, change your thumbnail if you didn't do that already. Did you see that advice? I don't know if you replied or not. Put your product as the thumbnail, especially since your product is so unique and different than anything you usually see on Whatnot. You know, lead with your product. Oh, good. I bet that should help, and it should help you get bookmarks. There's nothing to do with you or me. It's just that people, when they're scrolling through and they see all that stuff, they got to see the product, especially if something like that. So I've experimented though with different thumbnails. Sometimes it really makes no difference, but if you're new and you got new stuff and no one's used to seeing, that hopefully will stop them and they'll click. In my opinion, like if you have if you're selling He-Man, show all the figures you're selling. You know, people want to see that as an example. But if you're one of these, one of the sellers that's on every single day and everyone knows who you are, a lot of people just use their logo or whatever. The sports card guys, they do all sorts of funny, crazy stuff. If you look at their logos or their thumbnails, definitely go through other shows and other categories to see where, what suits, what works for you. I think worst case, if you're not someone that has time to create your own logo or your own thumbnail, then just take a picture of the stuff you're selling that day. I think that's like the number one. But let me fix my volume. Can you guys hear me okay? I feel like my sometimes, hold on. I always turn. I don't love using my phone, but when I do, I like to turn off the Bluetooth. I feel like no matter what, that doesn't make things sound better having the Bluetooth on. Obviously, make sure that your microphone is clean on your phone or whatever device you're using. Welcome, guys. Today and this month, we're supposed to be talking about shipping. That's what we're going to talk about, shipping, which is something I talk about almost every one of these streams. If you've seen my seller Q&A community streams before, shipping is one of the number one things that I talk about. That's something that I take a lot of pride in, is getting things out quickly, but more importantly, getting them out safe and secure, which I think is kind of underrated. I think there's a lot of great sellers that do it right. There's a lot of sellers that don't know, and there's a lot of sellers that are huge sellers that don't do it right at all. And it boggles my mind that they're still huge sellers. That's not a negative take on them. I don't get it, but I'll give an example and tell me. I'd like to hear your guys' examples more than anything. Like, I received a pair of shoes, no box, which is fine, no shoe box, that's okay. They weren't wrapped in paper, bubble, nothing. They were just floating around in the box, bouncing around in a USPS box. I think that's completely unacceptable. And I'm like the kind of person that gives a lot of people like the benefit of the doubt. But to put nothing in there is really irresponsible. And it says a lot about that seller, in my opinion, and how much they care for the product you just spent 10, 20, 30, 40, $100 on. Now, I don't know if they do that for every one of their shipments. And I'm not going to call them out, and I didn't even say anything, but that's not something that you should ever do. Maybe you don't know any better. Like, I see people on eBay shipping stuff. Maybe they didn't know any better and they shipped it in a way that's not okay. Like, for example, action figures. I get it. Like, if someone has like a big pile of action figures from their childhood, or maybe it's their kids' action figures, they think just throw it all in a big bag and throw it in a box. That's fine because it's understandable. But a lot of collectors will be really upset about that, especially on here. If you're selling them individual figures, you want to, bag each figure, make sure they are shipped in a box, not bubble. Here comes the Gibby. Guys, tag anyone that you think wants to be in this community stream. These community streams are a lot of fun, and we learn a lot with each other, guys. So hope if there's any sellers in here, I'd love to hear your questions. User, oh, I missed User's comment. User, let's see. I still have one of these packs up. We sold 100 of these yesterday, 150. Do you want a Dungeons and Dragons pack? Do you want Pokemon cards? Or do you want a baseball card pack? Let me know. One second. My biggest dilemma, and stopping me from doing shows. I gave 0 1 ounce giveaway stickers and paid. Oh, okay. Why is that? Great question, user. I'll tell you why in a second. Hold on. What category were they? The first one, Dungeons and Dragons, right? That's another giveaway. K Ward, welcome. I got some more hockey later if you still need. Thanks for the wonderful what's it called? The wonderful reviews. Wait, you did use stickers? Then I would definitely. That doesn't make sense. What I would do is contact Whatnot and ask them to double check that for you. Because if you chose the sticker category or the baseball card category, like breaks, sticker 0 to 1 ounce, unless there's something I'm not thinking about, that should be set up for you automatically. And then making me think I want to check mine too. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'll just check mine. I would say send a message to Whatnot, show them which show it was, tell them how much it was and what you were doing. Um, and it should work. Oh my god, I should get more of those Dungeons and Dragons packs. My goodness, if I do, I might only have a couple left. Yesterday, people were battling over them and buying. I've sold 150 of those packs. I don't know how I'm gonna find them again, but yeah, Russian. You could probably find them out there in the wild. I think they're it's part of the junk wax era. Anything that was in the '90s, they're still. So I was talking to my daughter about this yesterday. She's like, "Oh, but you could just save things now, right? And in 30 years, they'll be worth a lot of money." I was like, "No, like that's what they thought in 1992, and that's why I still have. I gave her Beauty and the Beast cards, and I was like, "You can open. Isn't that cool? You're opening these are from 1992 or '91." And that's when she said it. And I was like, "No, it's only packs. It's only things that people didn't realize to save. So if everyone great the best example ever of this is Star Wars. Like people saved Star Wars from the '90s. You can still buy so much Star Wars from the '90s, like mocks, like mint on card, sealed action figures. It's ridiculous because they saw the value of the ones from the '80s and the '70s, and everyone started saving stuff back then. So like you can still buy so much unsealed or sealed wax. So including those Dungeons and Dragons, I bet you can find them out there. It's the junk wax era. Right now, we're living through the junk slab era, if you know what that means. If you were into cards during the pandemic, especially 2021 was peak crazy slab time. PSA was a year behind. There are so many slabs and pop counts are insane. So we're living through the junk slab era right now, just like the junk wax era. There was so many cards produced. It's still fun to collect, but you can still get all these cards. That's why I can still do junk wax breaks, which I love doing. Like I did 5 boxes of 91 upper deck. Like all this product still shouldn't exist, like reasonably, right? But it still does. It still boggles my mind actually that there's still so much '80s product out there, for example. But anyway, I digress. I think that's not really the topic here. You emailed Whatnot, but I won't be able to change the amount they took from you. Well, first, user, what you want to do is find out if you did it right, obviously. Like if you followed the instructions of Whatnot as a seller, reselling, maybe you can speak on this. User said that he set up a show and did 0 to 1 ounce and stickers, but was still charged for like ground shipping for his giveaways. I said just email Whatnot, confirm that you did it correctly. If they say, "Oh yeah, you did it correctly. There's no problem here," then you can say, "Well, I spent X amount of dollars, and can you give me some sort of credit? Can you work with me? Can you help me?" And I'm sure that they will do that. Dungeons and Dragons is becoming increasingly mainstream, so all that stuff is becoming more valuable. That's Russian. That is really great feedback there. I always like to see what's going to be hot or what is hot, and I think it proved it yesterday with those packs and what I have left. I think that you're right about that. So it'll be good to kind of, if you're a seller, I mean, maybe I'll load up more on those packs too. I got lucky. Like I was at I'm always looking to buy in bulk. And I found another reseller in my, locally here, and he had like a bin of hundreds of packs of cards. And normally I don't like that because it's like low margins on stuff like that. Like if you're just selling 1 or 2 packs at a time, it's not really worth it. If you're doing this, you know, to make a living, if you're doing it just for fun and you're a collector, it's different. But I figured they're great giveaways. Actually, I think they are. They give me a lot of fun content to do. Like if I'm doing my YouTube channel or Instagram or whatever, like opening packs of pop culture, pop music cards and finding a vanilla ice rookie, I think is good content personally for what I do. Or even old baseball cards, like something like this. I think makes for good content. The Dungeons and Dragons are fun. It diversifies what you have. Having that product also is great for giveaways. It's also great for bringing new customers in too, because maybe they like the Dungeons and Dragons pack and they realize, oh, you also have comics and you also have action figures, and that becomes a new customer. So, having product like that is still good in general. Even like the Beauty and the Beast packs I had and Fern Gully and all that kind of stuff. that could also bring in Disney people. So I think it's good, if depending on what category you're in, to have different product that might represent the type of customers that you're trying to get, but you may not necessarily have yet. So it's good to have like low hanging fruit product to get them in, like even Pokemon, something that's cheap, not a big risk, not a big investment. So junk wax to me is, it kind of falls into that category. Here comes the winner. S Ruler. I'm out of the Dungeons and Dragons. I was gonna, maybe I'll do stocks next. I have baseball, or I could do Pokemon. Do you want to do baseball or Pokemon? What app needs to figure out pricing on the cards? I have Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, action figures, Barbies, etc. So that's a great question. I'll tell you in 1 second. For Pokemon, they make it really easy. For Pokemon, Magic, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh too. I forgot what the company's called, but it's like a TCG app. Oh, what would you like, S Ruler? Would you like baseball cards or Pokemon? I wish I had more. See, if I had more fun packs to get, like yesterday we had dinosaurs, the TV show, we had Batman, but all of it sold yesterday, so I think I'm gonna get more of that stuff. Uh, Ruler, do you like Pokemon or uh, baseball cards? We even had like Baywatch cards. We were pulling Hasselhoffs. It was fun. Five Rings knows what I'm talking about. S Ruler, congrats. Um, but great question, Epic. I'm glad you're asking these questions. I would say, and let me get another giveaway up. I think this time we'll do Star Wars socks. 1 second, guys. You can pick your Star Wars socks out. Oh, sorry. So TCG. So look up the app. Like if you type in TCG, like Pokemon Scanner. I forgot what the actual company's called. It might be TCG Poke Collector or something like that. You'll find it though. Marvin card shows the value and comps for all cards. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Great. Thank you, Little Cloud. Marvin cards. The thing about the TCG scanner though that I'm talking about is you can I'll give you something Star Trek if you want. You can easily use the app to scan like all the cards you have. Just be careful because sometimes they re-release cards and the scanner may not realize that you're scanning something new and it's thinking it's old, or maybe it's a variant or something like that. So like you might get excited, you have a card that says it's worth $125. Just make sure that you're actually on the correct card when it scans. Does that make sense? For example, and it's easy to tell too, but I'm making it way harder than it needs to be. Look for the TCG apps for the Pokemon stuff. I mean, eBay for the other stuff. Honestly, like even like ChatGPT or any kind of AI, if you take a picture of all the cards or all the action figures, maybe it can identify each one and give you a value, but I wouldn't trust that fully. But at least if you have no clue what these things are, that's one way to do it. Obviously, joining Facebook groups and things like that, they people love to help identify different items that you might have. But as far as pricing goes, oh, price charting has an app as well. So there's so many. I think what these guys are also saying, thank you, Alamo City Flips, is that there's a lot of resources out there, user. So I would just kind of look up what you need and you'll find them. But most people are going to look at eBay comps for general stuff that you're talking about. Let's say you have a bunch of Star Wars action figures from the 70s. It's going to matter. Conditions, everything. Completeness is everything. You want to have the gun, the weapons, the accessories, that sort of thing. But as far as Pokemon goes, there's so many scanners and price guides out there. It's actually incredible. Is it for every card? So great question on that too. For like eBay sales, you can also look at, I think it's 130 point, if I'm not mistaken, and you can look things up there. So yeah, tons of resources out there. Even like the PSA, if you're doing slabs, you could even like the PSA app, and you can get information on pop counts and I think even values there. Question: I've been selling on eBay for a while now. Been thinking to make the jump to whatnot. What are your thoughts? I always stick to what I know. Okay, great question. Five Rings. I think it's a pretty common question right now. I actually think that they're two completely different things, really, if you think about it. It depends what your goal is, depends what you're selling. So maybe Whatnot would say this, maybe they wouldn't, but let's all be honest, sellers know this. There are certain things that, as a reseller, putting on eBay would be a much better decision than putting on Whatnot or another live selling app. Um, but I would say definitely do it is my first answer. Roadster is one of the people that was a collector that probably sold on eBay and sells on here. If you want to sell fast, if you want to sell a lot of items, if you want to sell niche items like GI Joe or video games or whatever it is, and you want to do it quickly and you want to have fun with it and build an audience and make it a different stream of income, definitely 1000% Whatnot is like the most incredible platform for that. If you have something that you think you don't have the audience for, then maybe it needs to go on eBay. One great example I have is I have these Hogan's Heroes cards, 1965 Fleer. Now, if I were to put those up, like let's say in an estate sale category or something like that, even if I had a big audience, like maybe, I still don't think I would get the value because it's so obscure and such a niche thing that most people are not going to be interested in. But the collectors are going to pay top dollar for that. They're going after these cards. They're going to pay $10 to $15 a card. If I put those up here, I might be lucky if I get $1 a card. So that's what I would say is you have to make sure that the items match the platform. So there's items that people kill on here that they probably wouldn't do as well on eBay. So it can go both ways. I think it's all about speed on here, because eBay, this app, this platform destroys eBay in that if you're not active on eBay, your account dies. Like if you don't upload every single day, your account dies and it doesn't get seen. If you look at who's the YouTuber that's on here, I always forget his name. Daily Refinement. Daily Refinement is a master at eBay, came on here, so he's got great perspective. Find his videos on YouTube, and he would probably say a lot of the same things. Um, but as a smaller eBay seller, I know from my experience over 20 years on eBay, I could sell, you know, three things on eBay, and in the time I could sell three things in a week. And I could sell three things on here in 1 minute. So, think about that part, especially. Let me read the rest of your messages here. Is your shipping setup different when you sell cards or action figures? Yes, it can be. Let me get back to that. It has it for many types: Pokemon, Garbage Pail Kids. Oh, okay, that's awesome, Malamo. Yeah, you should definitely try to sell in here. If you have the opportunity to sell in here, and I'll talk more about that. Gestures of Chaos. Congrats. I think selling on here is a complete privilege, and it really boggles my mind when people either complain about it or they do things that are like negative that can impact the rest of us sellers, which happens. And it's impacted me. It impacted my business because people were inauthentic and they were lying. And a lot of the fun games that we all created here as sellers that were early on the app were banned from the app because people couldn't do them without doing them without cheating, per se. So, but I digress on that for a second. What kind of socks can I get you? Hold on 1 second. Same things will work well in here, others don't. Trial and error. And just have to be proactive on researching what sells. Yeah, definitely Alamo. It really depends what you have too. I have a lot. Okay, I sell a lot of McFarlane's on eBay. I have tons of other sports collectibles and toys, video games, and apparel and sneakers. So I'm all over the place. Yeah, I mean, certain things like you said, you got to experiment and see. I would say McFarlane's are not going to do well in here, but you got to check it out and see. So you don't want to start off with $1 if you're worried, that you're going to lose out. Let me get another thing here. Just as a chaos, which socks can I get for you? Oh, Roadster, you unlock bronze, I think, just by showing up. How cool is that? Let's see. Appreciate you got it, Jesters. Can you share your setup for cards? Yeah, I can talk about that. Hold on. Disney category is about to ruin mystery games. I hope you're wrong, reselling. Um, it seems like, yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. Shipping setup. Okay, we caught up. Jesters, I have Chewbacca. I have some of them are a little small, though. I have Chewbacca, I have R2D2. These came from a pack. They're all brand new. They just don't have tags on them. Or I can surprise you. Or Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, Jester, R2D2. Good choice. Let's get another one up. R2D2 for Jesters. Thank you. Fun little stocking stuffer there. So the setup for shipping, I mean, you got to be careful with that because, when you ship the 73 cents, I don't have any envelopes. I don't have any business envelopes here. I need to get some more coming today, but you normally would just use like a 4x9 business envelope, right? And I would get like one of the self-seal ones. And you want to put like a thin piece of cardboard, wrap the cards around that. You wouldn't really want to put more than a pack of cards in one of these anyway, right? Even though it's up to 16 ounces, yeah, use an envelope for those. But once you get to like 2 packs of cards, I don't feel comfortable sending it in an envelope. So you'd have to kind of have, know your setup. If you're selling singles, then you have your hard case, you have your top loader, and you have your envelope. And then all you need for that really is just one thin piece of cardboard. The top loader is pretty much protecting it. And then you like to put like a piece of blue tape on top of the case. You know what I mean? So the card doesn't fall out. It's just also a better look. Like the card may not necessarily fall out, but collectors kind of think like, oh, they didn't put the blue tape on there. It's all about presentation when it comes to that. So check with Whatnot to see what you did wrong, if you did anything wrong, that is, as far as the stickers. But you should be getting that 73-cent shipping, that envelope shipping. But when people start buying more stuff, then it's going to change once you get over, I think, like 16 ounces. And it's going to be just regular ground advantage. So it depends what you're selling, I'd say, is the number one thing there. And you could watch other card streams and see what they're doing too. Let's see. They're running raffles. $1 floor, 120 ceiling. Floor is a single playing card. Only one ceiling, which is a bag. Reselling. That's literally against the rules right now, though, isn't it? I mean, if they are advertising what the floor is, then that's buyer beware at that point, I guess. I know that happened in handbags. There's a problem with that. That would be really bad. Are they displaying all the items in these raffles and saying what the floor is? It's a single playing card. I mean, I don't know who's doing that, but I haven't. That's crazy. Are they auctioning the spots off? Because I mean, I guess if they already know what it is, I don't know. That's a tough one. People keep coming up with ways to uh to work the system. I still think duck races should be allowed personally the way that I would run them, as long as everyone agrees on what the risk is and what the prizes are. But today we're talking about shipping, though. So I'd love to hear more questions about shipping. It's stuff like that creates Reddit streams of disgruntled buyers. Alamo, I know. I'm trying to stay off the Reddit because I just see too much stuff. There's so much stuff going on this app. I don't know how people even keep up with it. Like there's so many sellers. I'm like there used to be like you kind of knew who the sellers were. Now it's just like a plethora, a sea of sellers. Let's see. Alamo City Flips is a 5-star seller on here, guys. Based in good old San Antonio. I have some David Robinson, a rookie here. Come and get some deals, y'all. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas, right? Is that right? Did you like that? I love that Alamo City. I love the. If I was Alamo City, I'd be playing that Pee Wee Herman clip all the time. Like the Alamo, I'd be playing the girl from SNL talking about Adobe and all that stuff. Am I doing mail first class and then flat rate for the card for your shipping setup? Um, I think I'm just choosing. Yeah, I think you might have to choose it for the cards. I think it's our. Oh, you know who would know is Brady's Collectibles. Brady's Collectibles. Do you use the Because you sell a lot of cards. How do you do your setup? Do you just choose like baseball card breaks or sports breaks, right? And Ms. Misfit also sells cards. There really is a basement in the Alamo. Is there really? Depends. Yeah, because I mean, if you have something thicker, like eventually it's going to go over that size, and you can't ship like a couple packs of cards or a couple stacks of cards or team bags in a regular plain envelope, right? You can't do that. It's better for singles to do those. But again, if you're selling, you can still set up your shipping just for ground, and people will eventually get that. Just a sticker, 0 to 1 ounce is what users saying. For sports cards, I do 1 to 3 ounces. For givvies, I do 0 to 1. But you have to choose baseball breaks, stickers, or one of those categories, right? Brady's Collectibles, some sort of card category for that to work. As far as I remember, I think I said it and forgot it. You know what I mean? And the stickers category is kind of new, so um, I think it's a new category, right? For givvies, you do non-sports, and does it count at 73 cents for the non-sports cards? For that one, probably, because I know it works. There you go. I'm doing 0 to 1 for giveaway, and I'm paying 473. I think that's why I was telling him, Brady. I think he needs to contact whatnot to confirm that that he didn't do anything wrong or what's going on with that. Mark. Oh, you have to mark plain white first. Yeah, he probably did that and forgot to do that. So that's probably Brady's right. I think you have to turn that on, right? Thanks, Brady. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, Brady's Collectibles is really helpful. He does a lot of sports card stuff, and way more than me. If your card sells for, oh, good point. Yes, Little, that's great. You're right. They should change it over 20. That's right. It's up to $20 in value. Great point, Little Cloud. Thanks for bringing that up. Totally forgot about that fact. So that's actually a good point. Like if you're running like a single and that single goes is at 19, and next thing you know it's at 20 or 21, shipping's going to go up immediately. Right there. You're right. You did a card selling 101 last night. Are your streams saved to your profile or connected to your YouTube and multicast? So either way, they can watch your stream. Okay, perfect. Guys, check out Brady Collectibles stream if you want to learn more about that. Watch it because it sounds like he went over it specifically. Let me see what else I said I was going to talk about. Oh, you know what's interesting about shipping that I feel like nobody talks about is like the if there's sellers in here, how do you handle dropping off your packages, for example, or do you drop off your packages? Because I think there's a lot of people that don't realize how much time they waste. Flacera, congratulations. I think you won some Star Wars socks. You even showed on camera. I mean, that's great, Brady. I might watch it too, Brady. See what you did. Maybe there's something I'm missing. You never know what you can learn. You go to the post office every day. I want to hear about this. Hold on. Schedule USPS to come to your house. Yeah, Brady's right about that. You should do that. That's number one. If you can schedule and come to your house or business, but it's only 3 miles away. But there's a more of a reason I'm saying if you could be wasting time. Do you want the Chewbacca ones? Do you want Stormtroopers for the Sarah? I think one. Or what else do we have? Like these? Or may I surprise you? Let me know. Chewbacca. As you can see, what else there is here too. This one. So what I think I'm trying to say is don't wait in line. No matter what you do, don't wait in line. There's options here. Still saves tons of time. Yeah. I don't trust USPS anymore to scan things. Um, After so many bad experiences, I haul it all to the front desk. Oh no. Okay, they must hate you. Hold on. Do I have comics? I do have some comics, but right now we're not really selling. We're just chatting about shipping. So make sure you follow. And I would love to show you some comics. Still saves tons of time. I find if I drop it off, it gets to the buyer in a day sooner. Okay. So number one, try to get those pickups scheduled. If you can do that, great. Right? If you can't do that, go to the post office. Does your post office have a self-serve kiosk? And there's two reasons I'm asking that. I mean, self-serve kiosk might be your best bet, but that's still going to take time. But at least you're not waiting in line anymore. So you can do your own. They hate you, but school they keep losing boxes. So Alamo, one thing you could do to save yourself time and them. So I'll skip over the part I was going to talk about. Go right to the best thing you can do. Have you ever seen the manifest? I never understand why sellers don't talk about the manifest. Have you seen the manifest when you're in your seller hub? There's never anyone there when I go. It's a small post office. Oh, that's good. Okay, that's different, Roadster. You're the exception to the rule. Um, I would go to the machine to get a receipt. Okay, so you use that. Okay, so what the manifest is, and your post office will love you for this. Okay, if you talk to someone who works at the post office, maybe the manager or somebody, say, look, I don't know how many things you ship, Alamo. You could say, look, I have like, I do like 50 things a day or 20 a day or whatever it is a week, and I want to get them all scanned, but I know how much time that takes for you and for me and for your employees, and I want to make this easier for you. So how about I bring, yeah, the master scan sheet. So the what I call it before, yeah, the master scan sheet's what you need and whatnot. Yeah, you can, Roadster. Yep. So when you're in the app or when you're in the it's on the desktop. It should be in there under like it says like email all the labels or so it's like what I call it a manifest. I don't know if they call it a manifest, but what you do is it's one barcode. So you bring all the boxes from that show. If you can keep it easy like that, Alamo, it's like all from one show. You tell them, hey, scan it, one scan, that's it, and then give them all the boxes, and then they'll be so happy because then they don't have to they don't have to scan anything. They'll love you because even if you drop it off and leave it at the door or leave it in the bin, like the self-serve thing with the little rotating thing that goes in, they're still going to scan those. I think if you do the big scan, they'll probably put them in a section where they don't have to touch them, and they'll love that, right? So they don't have to scan them at all, and then they'll go through the normal process once they get picked up. So if you can use the manifest and you're organized like that, definitely do that versus having them scan each one. I would prefer to scan them myself if I'm going to do that. Sometimes I'll go if I don't have that many packages and I'm like super on time, I'll just throw them in there and not waste my time scanning. Because the truth is, when they get picked up, if your post office is like clockwork every day, they're gonna get scanned anyway. So it's almost like a waste of time in a way. It is nice to be able to get that first scan. I'm pretty sure that whatnot counts that scan once that's considered dropped off at the post office, right? So that's gonna help you. Another alternative, if your post office is always busy and you can't do the pickup. A lot of people don't know this either, but Staples accepts USPS and UPS. So as long as there's no line, that is like VIP service, like going to a Staples over going to USPS. So it's like going to it's like avoiding the DMV, but still getting your shit done. My postal work appreciates it. Postal, yeah. I shortened her route because she added my bulk shipping. There you go, Brady's. That's nice. So you never know what that can do. If you can go on the website USPS and you can schedule pickups, they'll do that for you. It's great. So if the packages are scanned, then it's good. I always want a receipt. It is great to get a receipt. You're right. So I mean, in that case, I would use the self-service portal for the receipt, or what Brady's saying, if you can have them come pick up from you, that's then it's all documented too. You're welcome, Alamo. I'm glad. That's awesome. And Staples also gives you a receipt if you stand there and have them scan, and they'll give you a coupon. So if you need supplies, not that I really like to shop at Staples, but for supplies, but if you're in a bind and you need something, they give you a coupon. And you can drop your Amazon packages off there, so you can do a lot of stuff there. Amazon, as long as your local Staples does what I think they would do. Amazon packages, UPS, and USPS all in one spot. So that could be helpful too. Just try to save yourself some time. There's nothing worse than wasting time on stuff that's not going to make you money, or if you're not you want to source or things like that, and you're sitting there waiting in line. Plus, it adds stress to your life, like sitting there in line at the USPS. Nobody wants to do that with their day. Like, it's a big waste of your day. So anything you can do to make it better, Brady's I'd say is the number one. If you can get them to pick up for you, as long as you're going to be home, you're going to be at your office or whatever it is, and they pick up for you. That's a VIP service. If you have to go to USPS, manifest, or do it yourself, or Staples. So the worst thing you could do is wait in line. I would say that's like stop doing that if you're already doing that. If that's your only option, then I don't know what to tell you. then get the manifest, I guess. Have I experienced lost packages through pickup? Great question. Never. Actually, one time I was scared. I had one issue, and this is actually a great segue for me here, user. Thank you. I've been extremely impressed by USPS's service. You've seen I've sold over 30,000 items, I think, on the app between this and my other account, plus eBay. I don't think I've ever had a lost package that I can think of. Maybe one. And I've shipped some pretty important things too. Um, Recently, I shipped a Michael Jordan rookie, and I had so much anxiety about that. Believe me, Michael Jordan PSA 6. I didn't want to ship that, but I did, and I trust USPS. But what I'll say is that their service has been incredible, and I have never had anything lost. I had one package. I sent a Sugar Ray Leonard signed glove to someone in Maryland. I'm in Maryland, and no scans happened for like over a week. And I was convinced this thing's gone. Somebody stole it. Next thing you know, finally, I kept telling that. Thankfully, the buyer was so patient. I asked him to please wait. Let's see what happens. Sometimes these things happen and they don't scan them. Maybe they're stuck somewhere. Because it was local, it gave me more concern. If this was like all in California or Washington State, I would have been like way more confident. Anyway, it just shows up like a week late and he got it. Who knows why? So sometimes if someone gets to you, your customer says something to you like, where's my package? If you can ask them for please for some patience and time, especially this time of year, maybe that'll happen to you. Chances of it getting lost are very, very, very slim. That just doesn't happen, um, to me at least. And I have a lot of proof of that after doing so many. User, congrats. Do you want the socks? Well, I guess you can be Star Wars socks, right? You like Star Wars, I think. No, who didn't like Star Wars? Maybe the kids. Got these. Talk to post office. They may allow you to use the back dock. Yeah. Oh, Brady's great question. Great point too. I have a post office around here where I used to back up my car and just unload at the dock, and no one gave a shit. And they were like so cool, and I didn't have to scan or anything, and they just took me. It was like the hub. So I think it only works if it's like the hub. But I could be wrong. So that's like the hub here in Baltimore, and I just went into the parking lot where all the trucks are, and I just backed my car up like they would, and I just unloaded, and they were like, "Yep, that's totally fine." And I was shocked that that was okay. So you never know what's fine until you ask. So you got to ask. User, which pair of socks would you like? Blue. All right, so I got 3 pairs of blue. We got the what is it, AT-AT? I've had them lose 3 boxes so far. Oh man. Yeah, it could be the local thing. Yeah, master sheet's the way to go. And get those scans in, I guess, at that point. So I guess one, two, or just what are they called? One orange and blue. Death Star. Is that a Death Star? It's a Death Star. 3 boxes. That's rough. I'd be so pissed, especially if it's something not replaceable. That would really be frustrating. Orange, you got it. Hold on one second. Let's do one more socks, and then we could do the cards again. Thank you, user. Congrats. They all from a package, guys. So I think those are some really good topics. I'm glad you guys are helping to talk about these things. Like, what was it? There's another segue I think that you said, and I was like, oh, we should talk about that too. I think we just did actually. Let's see. Card shipping. We talked about that. Oh yeah, the time and updating issues with the scanning. Yeah, let's talk about that one real quick. Again, a little bit more. I don't know if you will know this if you've never had a lost package, but if it is scanned and it doesn't deliver, does Whatnot cover or does the seller? Um, a lost package should be insured, so that's something you want to work out with Whatnot because usually I haven't had an issue where like they just give the buyer a refund, from what I understand. So it depends. But I would say that they're going to cover that, especially if it's scanned. There you go. Thanks, Alamo. Alamo just said Whatnot covered his, didn't have to pay for it. So they're probably insured as well. So they open up a case probably on their end and say, hey, here's a box that was shipped. It was scanned. It never delivered. We want our money back for the shipment. So then maybe it's insured. So that's a good question actually. But I've never really had that happen. So I don't worry about it. It's good to know though. Let's see. Once scanned, USPS is now liable once it's been scanned. There you go. Thank you, reselling. Perfect. Dealing with USPS insurance is a pain in the butt. I can't disagree with that. Any kind of, yeah, it was a pain in the butt. I used to deal with like UPS or FedEx. Anytime you have to file some sort of claim, that's definitely not a fun thing to do. Thankfully, Whatnot has such good support in that I haven't had to worry about that, at least as far as I know. But I haven't seen anything not get delivered that I'm aware of, so that's great. Um, but when it comes to the time updates with the scans, we talked about that. Another one that you might see issues with, this is a really good one, this is more anecdotal, is the 73-cent shipping, like the plain old envelope shipping for cards. You may not see a scan on that. You may not see a delivery for a while. It might even say it's delivered, and the person tells you it says delivered and it's not. I've seen that happen, and then 2 days later they get it and everything's fine. So I would say don't panic when you don't see if the buyer is like, "Where are my cards?" Sometimes they just take longer, and they just have to wait for that. And sometimes it says it's delivered and it's not, and then it gets there. Obviously, you can tell them check with your neighbor, check with the front desk, like the obvious things, but not always. It doesn't always deliver as expected. So what else? Hold on. Yours was an inside job. Oh no, lost two D3 cost. Oh man, I've heard of some things where there's like, people steal stuff, but it's so rare. Takes up to 2 to 3 weeks sometimes for plain white envelope. Very interesting, Brady's collectible. I didn't know that long, but you're right. That could happen. Let's see. Ask them to be patient. Definitely ask them to be patient. You have no control over once you ship it. So hopefully the people will understand that. That's the only thing about using the plain white envelope um, option. It's great to save money for you and for the user, but I feel a little more confident, obviously, about the ones that you can scan. The standard tracking is terrible. It says reselling. I'm just thankful that that hasn't happened here. If that's happening to you guys, it could be a local post office issue where if there's theft and things like that, that's not cool, obviously. But so far, so good on my end. I think we should appreciate how much USPS does, and make a good relationship with the people at at USPS. And I think one way to do that is to tell them you appreciate what they do, and you don't want to bog them down with all these scans, and you want to bring them the manifest, work with them, or be like, what's the best way for me to bring in 50 packages a day if you're not getting a pickup. Make a good relationship with them. I have a good relationship with the guy that comes here, and I'll just, if he comes randomly to deliver, I'm like, oh wait, can you have some boxes? Sometimes he'll even bring in boxes for me because he knows now. He leaves them here while he goes and does his route. He'll leave me like the empty boxes to put my stuff in. So just from being nice to him, just from appreciating what he does, having small talk, things like that. Remember them during the holidays. They have a hard job, guys. Like, you should not. I think they have a really hard job. I mean, some of the people you're gonna run into, they're gonna not give two shits about their job, and they're gonna be treat you like crap in line. And they're probably dealing with other things personally, and that's probably why. But the people who deliver, I feel like they just have a really, really tough job. And I think you got to appreciate what they do. And I think they'll remember you for it. And I think it helps. You bring them cookies and say, thank you for putting up with my shipping. See, that's brilliant, Elmo. Exactly. I think I did that, especially during the pandemic, because I was there so much. I think I bought all the girls there like chocolate chip cookies too. I reported, and suddenly their machine said everything was resolved. All right, well, that's good. I've not received many gift card giveies. Really? I don't know if that's USPS thing or if that's the user not selling. Ms. Misfit, congrats. I stopped going to that USPS and never had a problem after that. See, they could be just the local USPS too. Exactly. Ms. Misfit, I hope you like Star Wars, or I got all these nice Star Wars socks. I got some Chewbacca socks. You got it. I got it. And guys, check out Ms. Misfit shows too. She does a lot of football. I got the AT-AT. I got the Death Star. I gotta find some more. I gotta find my Yodas. Anything stand? Death Star, you got it. Thank you. These come from a pack, just so everybody knows, even though they're not, yeah, sealed. I think we covered most of the stuff. What else can we talk about, guys? Thank you, Miz. Let's do one more givey. Miz triggering rocks. Oh, Miz friggin' rocks. Nice. I like that you guys know each other. That's amazing. Check out Miz. Hold on. Let's see. Let's do another pack of card giveaway. Ms. Misfit also is someone that could probably talk about shipping cards as well. The Toy Man says USPS gets blamed for a lot of stuff. In my experience, they are very good, almost 100% success rate. Me too. 100,000 items shipped, says the Toy Man. That's amazing. I think that's incredible, and I believe you, obviously. And the Toy Man leaves nothing. He lives, Midwest, basically across the country, away from where I am, and I have a good experience. He has a good experience, so I don't know. I think that they're great. I think they get a bad rap, like the Toy Man said. She's part of my inner friends on Whatnot circle. Nice. Or is what would reselling say? The community. She's fam. She's fam. Yeah, I love it. See, there really is stuff like that reselling. It's real. Brady's and Ms. Misfit. That's a real deal. Like you and me reselling. Like the Toy Man is a Whatnot plant, so I can't try. Reselling so funny. I see them put up with so many rude customers. Yeah. and blame them for me. I agree with you, Alamo. And a lot of people also don't know what they're doing when it comes to shipping stuff, and that's probably frustrating too. That's a hard job. I don't want to keep harping on it, but I think that little bit of appreciation that you have for that USPS worker will go a long way to them remembering and taking good care of you when you're there. Because most people don't give them that courtesy and that respect. So, that little gesture of being human will go a long way. I don't want to tell you guys anything you don't know, but some people forget because you are having a bad day yourself, maybe, and you're frustrated about things, and then you want to run into something else, someone else that's frustrated too. That's a bad recipe right there. Community is only real if you believe it. Sort of like the Tooth Fairy. Jeez, I think Ms. Misfit and Brady's Collectibles are a community, and I also think that the Toy Man and the guys in GI Joe, they have a true community going too as well. I mean, I see so much goodness in the GI Joe community or in some other categories. I get what you're saying though, reselling, but I think there is, for every charlatan that's in here, I think there's like 10 amazing people. You know what I mean? Maybe even better. Don't let reselling jaded, cynic attitude bring you down. I know it's so easy to do that to me. Also, I'm like, yeah, I know what reselling means. I lost two of mine inside job. Oh man, yeah, that's tough. See, if once something like that happens to you, usually it's tough to trust. You know, inside job, I believe. What do you mean, John? You are forever. Thank you, Rose. I didn't mean I'm not in it, but I'm not really. I don't consider myself like I'm in it, but like I'm not a collector. I feel like a fake when it comes to that. Even though I appreciate the hobby and I love it. Like we're all grew up pretty much the same. We all put our pants on two legs at a time, one leg at a time, and we also all had Flint. Am I fake? No, no. What? He said nice. I had a Flint. I had all the stuff you guys had, so I love it. I appreciate it. That's why I started doing it. He's saying because I was the first GI Joe seller, and I said immediately, I'm not a collector, guys. Like I just love. I like selling things that I like Garbage Pail Kids. Like it's more fun, and you can be more genuine and excited about selling. My leg went off about selling something that you know about or you like. I think you know what I mean. So and I had so much more fun talking about GI Joe or Star Wars even. So he brought me down. Hold on. Oh, he brought you down. Let's see. Let's see, I've connected with some awesome people in here through selling. I believe it, Alamo. Made some great friends. Exactly. So there really is the fam type thing or community type thing. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it with the Toy Man's met so many people from the GI Joe community because of this app. How do I find out what shipping label is coming out of my printer before I box things up? Oh, great question. Um, so Little Cloud, it depends. If you're in the desktop, then you can click on like the print and it'll bring it up. Or what I always do is I download the PDF and you can look at the PDF and scroll through it. Or you can do it on your phone too. As long as you have the PDF, you can see what each person's shipping method is. I think you probably even see the shipping method in the Seller Hub on the desktop version. Does that make sense? So I would say the PDF. When it says, oh, I know, when you email all the labels, click that, and you can just look at it on your phone, and you bring up the labels that way. Does that make sense? Actually, great sellers on here, but are few and far between. Never simple. See the people show. Yeah, I hear that. I know nothing about Pokemon. I'm selling my kids toys that I don't know about. Well, then you have to. That's something you could relate to the people that you're selling them to, and ask why they collect them, what they like about it. I sell Pokemon, and I learned enough about it to be competent talking about it, and that's about it. Um, so I mean, as long as I always think to myself, hey, we're getting stuff to the collectors want, that kids want. I think it's a fun thing to sell that too. It's really more fun than selling something that someone collects and they're gonna really enjoy. Like I sold, I knew nothing about Hot Wheels and diecast, and hold on, here comes the winner. Brady's Collectibles, congrats. Little Cloud. One label at a time is okay. I'll explain about one label at a time why you wouldn't want to do that. One label at a time is probably what Little Cloud would want to do because they could change them as they go. But if you look at all, once you see the PDF of all of them, um, well, I guess at that point you want to do it before you generate the labels. I see. I think is that what you're saying? You got it. Just thank you, Rosa. I appreciate that. Or Brady's. I mean, congrats. Brady's, I had so much fun junk wax. I'm gonna be doing I decided I want to do more junk wax breaks. I did 5 boxes of 91 Upper Deck, searching for the Jordan. I have 91 Pro line coming, which has autos in it. You probably know this. Has a Bill Belichick rookie, so I'm gonna do a break on that. And what else? I feel like I want to do the 91 Score Series 2, where you can get the Bo Breaker card. Like all these chases where it's like you can get in the box cheap, but the chase card is like a $400 PSA 10. You know what I mean? I look at each label, grab the items, pack it, and then edit the label and print it. Yeah, so I saw like Corey Mannix came here to do a stream. He's a big seller on here. I watched how he did it. It's totally different than me, and I actually think the way he did it was pretty good. He would go one at a time, and he would have to change it because the way he was paying for shipping, so he would have to change it based on what they bought, I guess. For me, I rarely have to change the label, so that's why. But there's multiple ways to see what if it's a P or a G when you're shipping, or if it's the plain one envelope too. Label. Why did it say able? Wait, geez, hold on, I misunderstand. Look at each label. I do them one label at a time because I'm old. Oh, one label at a time is good too. If you go through each one, and then you could that's actually you're doing something that is it does always default to 12, 12, 12 because it's gonna be the same cost for whatnot. You don't really have to change that. I don't think. I don't think that affects you unless you're paying for shipping. That shouldn't affect anything. But one label at a time actually is a good idea. That's called I can't remember. It's a Japanese way of doing manufacturing. One piece flow is that what it's called? And you basically are handling. I can't remember what it's called now. It's like Six Sigma. Basically, you cut down on errors that way because if you're only focusing on that one thing and that one customer, you will cut down on any errors from happening and switch and mixing up labels and mixing up orders and all that kind of thing. I gotta get an interrogation like thing going here, and it's really annoying me. Six Sigma Lean. Thank you. That's it. Reselling. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're actually doing lean, and you're very Japanese. You think you're turning Japanese. So it's lean manufacturing is what we're trying to say. So that's always good to do one at a time. You probably have no mistakes. You probably have no not mines. Unboxing then printing only to find out I can't use priority box because they gave you a ground label. Yeah, I mean, definitely want to check that first to make sure. And you also want to make sure you're not using priority flat rate if you didn't get a priority flat rate, obviously, too. Like set up. Like they have priority. My favorite boxes to get are just the priority, domestics because they're free. And, you know, that's the way to go. Oh, this one says weigh your package. If it's 1 to 5 pounds, it's priority. Everything else is ground. Says the toy man. I'm very jet. Okay. What do you sell? Let's see. I'm white, green belt, and Six Sigma. Get out of reselling. That's so funny. I don't know. You're a green belt in Six Sigma. That's amazing. Okay. So I was talking about like, what's the thing I'm trying to say then? Not Kaizen. It kind of mixes in with Kaizen and all that stuff. Let's see. Your full mistakes. All right. One at a time's the way to ship. Yeah. Nostalgia. Six Sigma. That's a really good thing to be. I forgot what you do reselling. Why did I forget what you do? I always forget what everyone does. Let me do one more give you here. We'll do for the cards. I started creating shipping profiles for my shows to have better control. That's a great idea, Alamo. Yes, I love that. Good reminder. Create those profiles, and it could save your customers money too, because instead of going to the 1 to 3 ounces, you can make it just 1 ounce. You know what I mean? Or if it's 4 to 7, you can make them just four, and that could save people money because it won't. The more items they get, it won't go over. When you edit a label, will it change the ship? Yes, it will change the shipping price if you're going over what the original value was. If it's changing it enough, um, but if it's not a significant change, like in the weight or the dimensions, it should be the same thing. And you get 5 like redos as well. Okay, I was right. Okay. Oh, single piece flow. Let's see. The whole shipping thing is frustrating. What are you selling, Little Club? I usually pre-package before I print each label. Oh, okay, that's smart worlds. That way you know exactly what label you need. That makes sense, and you know which box you're using. That's really responsible worlds of wonder. I mean, that's doing it. That's like ideal for especially for whatnot because you're doing it like perfection. I have a black belt reselling. Let's see. Can I message you for the shipping advice? Let's see. All right, awesome guys. See, genuine. 4, 8, and 12 says Roadster. I resell spring collectible stuff. That's funny. Everything Pokemon to Playboy. Okay. Well, I mean, Pokemon should be pretty straightforward too, because I mean, if you're doing packs or if you're doing like small stacks of Pokemon cards, it should be like the 1 to 3 ounces probably. The Playboys, I mean, each Playboy's what are they like? Maybe close to a pound. Um, so I mean, a good box for that. If you don't have like the 8x12 or 9x12 like hard mailers, let me show you. That's probably perfect for the Playboys or magazines or comics. Hold on. I think anything like this is going to be good for shipping those, or get some 12 by 9 by 3 boxes if you have to stack them. And then like if you're doing all Playboys, you know exactly what you're going to be selling. 14 ounce for a magazine. There you go. And you can make a shipping profile called like magazine, right? And then you'll be accurate. You won't have to worry about any of this. So if you have like 12 by 9 by 3 boxes, you could probably fit like 3 or 4 magazines in there and just measure what they are depending on what it is. Or this, you could probably fit 1 to 2, right? So I think you could probably simplify it really if you know what you're doing already. And let's see, how often do you get burned on max shipping shows? I don't think I've ever been burned on any of that because, well, I have them pay for it. So does that make sense? I have the buyers pay. Even understanding of white belt Six Sigma and understanding wasteful procedures. Yes. Yeah, it's all about streamlining tasks and not creating waste is the big thing. That's kind of what I was talking about going to the post office. Going to the post office and waiting in line is considered waste. Not having materials where you need them and having to walk to the other room to get scissors is waste. Anything that takes extra time that's unnecessary is considered waste. Look up Paul for a simplified version of this. Look up Paul Akers on YouTube, and you'll be amazed if you've never seen this stuff in action. You'll probably be inspired to set your workspace up in a way that cuts down on waste, meaning time wasted. Do 1 to 3 ounces under a pound. You can adjust up to 16 ounces, says Toyman. Thank you, Toyman. I appreciate that. Exactly. So it really will make a difference, is what the Toyman's saying. Up to a pound. Exactly. The most I've had to pay extra for max shipping was around $30, but that was before I figured out shipping profiles. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's important to know what you're selling, and it depends if you're going to be doing buyers paying for it. If you're paying for it, that makes a difference. You want to be accurate as you can, like they're saying. I think the Toy Man gave great advice there as well. So prepare yourself for what you're selling. Like we just said, like the magazines was a good example. Having a profile. I used to have a profile for like GI Joe mocks. Like I knew like what size they were, what box it was. So if you already know what you're selling, they used Funko Pops is a great example. I think they even used to have one called like Funko Pops in the category. Like, but when they first started, because Funko is the first thing that Whatnot sold. Most people waste too much time in life. They're oblivious to how much of your time they'll waste reselling. Yeah, did that. Let's see, reselling over 5 per box. I need combined shipping, and they change from priority to ground. They get confused, not knowing. I don't know why they would go from ground to priority to ground. They usually go the other way, unless it's creating 2 new labels, which I've seen that happen before too. Thank you, Zoe's Kicks, for sharing the stream. Appreciate you. Let's check out Zoe Kicks. Is Zoe Kicks a seller? Are we doing? We got shoes. The best deals on Whatnot. Look for the bin, different stuffs, adults and kids shows. So these are shoes. Let's see. Who won, by the way? Sneakers, t-shirts. Eric, 83. Congrats, Eric. Thanks for sharing, guys. It makes a big difference. I appreciate it. The price went over 20. You love wasting your time reselling. Let's see. You got Eric. I don't have that many packs left. Do you want Pokemon or old school pack of baseball cards from 1988? 1988 cards or some Pokemon? Baseball. You got Eric. Thanks. Congrats. Someone pulled a Bo Jackson out of this the other day. Let's see. All right, so we covered a lot today so far. Any more questions, you guys? Let's see. Card shipping. We talked about card shipping. We talked about, let's see, the time it takes for updating in USPS and how that can be an issue. So be patient. Tell your user or the buyer, hey, look, here's when it's scanned. Sometimes this happens. I like to give examples of when this has happened before, so they know it's not like just them. I'm like, yeah, I've seen this happen where I ship out a plain white envelope and it says delivered, and then 2 days later, and the person doesn't have it, and 2 days later it shows up in the mailbox. So let's give it a couple more days and we'll resolve it from there. I promise. Just make sure that you know that I'm going to take care of you, or Whatnot will. All right, let's see what else we have here. And same thing with like it's an anomaly, but I've had it happen before where they don't scan something right away. It'll somehow skip scanning and go straight to the truck. It's rare also. So sometimes it looks like, hey, this thing didn't get scanned and it's not going to show up and it's lost. And then like 5 days later, it's delivered. So I don't know if you guys have seen that happen before, but it does. So it's all about just being, telling your buyer to please be patient with USPS, give it a little more time. And thanks for their understanding and patience. And then usually it resolves itself. Like 99 out of 100 times it resolves itself. And that one time, then you have Whatnot step in and help with you. There are times I pay $73, and most of the time I pay $4.73. Yeah, I think watching Brady's Collectibles stream, like I said, would be the best way because he shows how to set it up. I haven't had that happen yet, so I think it might be the category you selected most likely, um, or not setting it up for the plain white envelope option. Like he was saying, you have to turn it on. It sounds like. Let me see here. We'll do one more. We have Star Wars socks. We'll do one more Star Wars socks, and then I'm going to be selling a little later today, guys. Too. I hope you guys join me for that. Did some fun stuff yesterday with a lot of sports cards and non-sports cards, but today a lot of magazines, Starlog magazines. Let's see. I always get my items either scanned at the counter or at least through the USPS automated machine. So that's what we were talking about before, Worlds. I'll give you some quick. Want to do a quick recap on that because I think it's important if someone just got here. That was I think one of the most important things we talked about is scanning and pickups. Um, okay, so the toy man says might need to enable the 1 ounce plain white envelope shipping on each show. Now that I don't know about the toy man. I hope that's not true. I don't know if it's on each show. I think you have to do it on the category maybe. What does everyone think of packing peanuts? Starlog, you love it. Okay, I have like 80 Starlogs. Guru, welcome on YouTube. Oh, thanks, crazy. Look up Paul. He should still be on there. Paul Akers. Paul Akers. He's got amazing videos on there, and I'm sure he still does. Or if he doesn't, there probably you can go back in time. Diddly dee, diddly dee. You can go back in time and find Paul Akers, Akers. I forgot the name of his company now, but they literally make stuff for this, like for lean manufacturing. And I hope you'll be inspired by how they save time and these little things that maybe you don't think about. I've got bad reviews because my item didn't get scanned until its third stop. That's not fair. Little Cloud. Um, that's not. If you're saying that, what are you selling, Little Cloud? You're selling magazines of Pokemon. They're giving you bad reviews before they even just because it was late. That's sad and unfair. And thankfully, Whatnot has enabled the reply to review now, which I need to start using. I haven't. I was very happy to see that. Anyone use that as a seller, the reply to review? That would be a good opportunity. And what you want to do when you reply to the review, though, is you want to just stick with the facts because you don't want to get into how unfair it is, which is unfair. We know that, but you can just say thank you for the feedback, and then and then give the story what happened. Like I did, I hope you're happy with your item. I shipped it on this date. I apologize if it got there late. It didn't get, here's what happened. I shipped it on this date from this date, and here's when it arrived. Normally, things don't take that long, or whatever you want to say, or something like that. Guys, getting the giveaway, by the way. I don't think you want to get personal with it. Just kind of state your factual case. Have some empathy for their situation, even though you really want to say, like, hey, this is bullshit. Take that review down, yes. Like, probably want to say that, right? But obviously you don't do that. And maybe I don't know if they're able to take down reviews at that point because that's not like that would upset me. I take the reviews really seriously. I even am holding like one of the little notes I put in there to tell them to contact me first before leaving a review. So if you're not doing that, I would highly recommend putting something in there that personalizes and humanizes you to say, hey, hope you're happy with your order. If there's anything wrong or if you have any questions or feedback, please contact me directly first. I would love to hear it before leaving me a review. I think that could go a long way to hopefully that, even if that saves you one bad review by doing that every time, or it encourages somebody to give you a good review. Either way, that's the way to do it, is to have some sort of note. Doesn't have to be fancy. I always say this, I should buy some cards on one of these sites and design it. Mine's just a piece of paper right now, computer paper for now. As long as it does the job, I think that's what I'm most interested in. And I'm missing some of the chat, so I'll catch up to them. But let's see. Worlds of Wonder was saying something about scanning. Let me go back to that. Hold on. Before I read the rest of the chats, I don't want to get derailed. And guys, get in the give you got a minute left. So we were talking about not wasting time going to the post office. So number one, the best thing you could do is to set up a pickup with USPS. If you can schedule it and you have enough packages, have them pick it up from you. That's like the white glove top VIP service. Number two would be go to the post office, but bring a manifest with you, which Whatnot supplies you with, and print that out. And you can make a relationship with the manager or somebody on duty there, someone that's working there, and have them scan one scan, give them all your packages. Everyone's happy then. Didn't waste time, hopefully, doing it that way. The other option, self-serve kiosk, bring your packages. You can't do the manifest, unfortunately, but you can scan each one and drop them in that box. Fourth option, just drop them in the box, trust USPS. Either way, you're not waiting in line. Our main thing is here is don't waste your personal time waiting in line. Is what I'm trying to say. So I think that was I think that was one of the biggest things we talked about today personally is that like that's like an underrated thing that no one talks about. Let's see. I'm now going to catch up with the chats. The issue I've seen with the 73 cents is people want the followers from a giveaway, but then when it gets delivered, they get dinged. They complain. If anyone is complaining about a giveaway, that I feel like they should be allowed on the app personally, unless there was like fraud. Eric, congrats again. Baseball cards again, right? To be fair, shipping is pretty easy for me. I've shipped almost 80,000 packages. That's amazing, world. That's great. When you ship and drop it off, yeah, if you drop it off and it gets scanned, either at that time, chat, yeah, that'll mark it as dropped off. I just hope. Oh man, let's see. World's Wonder, you're selling comics mainly, right? People are actually petty. If I received an item I don't like, I move on. Me too, user. It's a shame that people do that. I don't understand it. It didn't matter to them that they got it in the fourth day. They claimed I held it for 3 days. I mean, people are real. That's a sad thing because that's like really being spoiled by Amazon. Like, even if you did hold it for 3 days, what if you did? What if you had things going on in your life? I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, what if it was over the weekend, or maybe maybe you did hold for 3 days. Maybe it slipped through the cracks. You gotta give. It's not you hold for 3 weeks or even a week. 3 days is nothing, is what I think. I mean, I don't think you had ill intentions. I don't think you were trying to rip anyone off, and um, and you didn't do that. You got it scanned, so that's just them not understanding how things work, I guess. Not sure if you saw my message, but I thought the number 41 Impel card in your last order. Oh, you guys tell us. Okay, let's see. Nice. Okay, mine is just a sticker. Ding for a giveaway. I'll move on and thank the buyer. Yeah, you can't be petty for a giveaway because not only the giveaway also helps if you're actually in the show to actually buy things. The giveaway is going to help you save on shipping. So even if I give away like nothing, you're still going to get like better price on shipping at that point. You know what I mean? Like, because it adds to what you're going to be buying anyway. And then if you buy something larger, it's going to be cheaper to ship. I put handwritten note in every buyer's package. Little cloud. So this person, you put a handwritten note and they still did that. That's really sad. I rarely read anything on paper added with my order straight to the trash. All right, fair. That's reselling. uh, let's see. Less counterline is small. I'm trying to catch up here. Yeah, if it's small, I guess you did. I like my postal workers. I enjoy talking to them. Nice, Roser. Uh, you got it, Alamo. Appreciate you being here. Here we go. Crazy about Goofy says the factory I used to work for, I worked in shipping and receiving, but it's been 5 years since they closed and moved. Whatnot is so different. Let's see. Toyman and myself know about complaining about a giveaway. Really? That happened to you guys? Oh, nice, world. I'm still catching up on the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah. All right. Send the next day, always unless it's Sunday. Yeah, little cut. That's a shame. I don't understand why that would happen. Sometimes I guess you just get unlucky and you get a buyer like that that has to complain about something that's not something that should be, you know, even discussed. Let me do one more give you here at least. Let's see, guys. I appreciate. I like hearing the stories and the feedback from you guys. Hopefully, if you missed it, all the shows, all the past shows are on the app under my account. So if you want to watch any of the past shows, or it's multicast to YouTube right now, and I would love it if you guys subscribe to my YouTube. You can see all of these Q&A community shows for the last year and a half. I think I've been doing it or something like that. A year. Amazon and eBay. So there's like 25 episodes of this basically. Amazon and eBay prepped people for instant gratification. Yeah, when buying online, sure did. Whatnot slow shipping people. I don't. I mean, I've had pretty good. I mean, I think my shipping's pretty fast. Usually 1 to 2 days. I wish it would say 1 day on there. It says 2 right now. I think that's like phenomenal. I think anyone that's got 2 day shipping on here, even 3 is good. Even though it looks bad because it's supposed to be like 1 to 2, 3 is still good. But you're right. We're all conditioned now that that's not okay. Giveaway sellers paid needs to be yeah. Giveaways you should be thankful and move on. Remix, welcome. YouTube show. Well, I wouldn't call it a show, but I have a YouTube channel. I did want to do a show at one point. I was going to do a YouTube show, but it was going to be like a American Pickers meets Gen X basically. So we're not like excited about Rusty Gold. We're excited about finding a bin of GI Joes or something. I'm sure there's tons of shows like that now. But then you add the aspect of Whatnot on there, and this was early on when Whatnot was small. You're mad it's only 1 day. Oh, yours used to be less than 1 day, Worlds. I got you. 1 day still looks amazing, Worlds. To me, what's more important than the one day, and if anyone has less than 5 stars, I'm sorry for saying, is maybe it's OCD, maybe it's something, but not having 5 stars would anger me more. Worlds of Wonder, and maybe you probably do have 5 stars, but that would get to me more than the 2 day thing. But I get it. If you had it under a day and it changed to one day, that's frustrating too. You got 5 stars, perfect. I mean, you literally have a perfect account. I had a shipping problem with the Toyman 84. You did. Wait, he's here. The Toy Man has a perfect record too. But he's definitely a is one of the sellers that has integrity on here, that's been on here a long time, that you can trust. Um, unless you're just joking around. But I don't think the Toy Man has issues with that. He does it right. He does it professional. Um, there are certain sellers on here that take it seriously. Myself, he does as well. Obviously, Worlds of Wonder. Check them out. Comics does as well. Yeah, Toy Man is super legit. That's right. And he works with his wife, and she does stuff with him too. So I think you can always trust the Toy Man. And so check him out too, guys. He does Joe's, he does Lego, all sorts of good stuff, guys. He's great for the app. He's been on here since pretty much the app started, guys. Like, or since it like really got into the mainstream. I ordered one before that, I should say. I ordered on the 27th. I just got my package yesterday. Well, I guess that's something the Toy Man can look into with you. But my guess would be it has something to do with USPS and not him getting it out there late, um, typically. But things do happen. We all make mistakes. I've had things slip through the cracks myself, and I try to make up for it with the buyer and let them know what's normal. And sometimes the one out of like 1,000 times that I screwed up, you get Murphy's Law. I've had that happen. I have a story real quick that I had this happen. It was horrible. Um, I sent someone like a Disney statue or something, and he paid like $5 for it, right? Made a label in a second. Ah, it's always good to communicate with the seller. I agree, to see what's going on. So I got this out quickly. It broke, right? So then what I did, and normally I would just say, "Oh, go get a refund." I actually went and found him another one, and I paid for it myself on eBay, and I packed it so well. And some other things happened before this is why I did this. I think like maybe it was delayed or something like that happened, or maybe I was late on the shipment, and I apologize for that. And then it broke, and then yeah, Thanksgiving weekend doesn't help exactly. Um, so eventually I shipped it to him again out of my own money, 'cause I just wanted to get him the exact thing, and it was in better condition too than the one I sold him, and that broke too after all that. And he was like, "Don't worry, I know you tried." So like, stuff's gonna happen. But there was nothing more to that story, like Murphy's Law stuff, where everything wrong just kept happening with this guy. Like whatever I did, I think. Oh, I remember. I missed a big part of it. I shipped it, and it was shipped back to me for like wrong address or something. Like he had the wrong but I think he had the right address. So it looked like it took like 2 weeks when really I had it out there on time. That's what it was. So it like took like a month to finally get him this thing because of all the back and forth and the broken one, and then finally it broke again. So it's one of those things where you just can't win. That's rare though, obviously. You sell on Mercari and ship that weekend, no excuse. Let's see, Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the context of where he shipped from and when he shipped it, but I would say that 99 of 100, a seller like the Toy Man is going to come through for you and ship in a normal time. You can literally look on his account; it probably says what 1 or 2 day shipping turnaround. So I'm sorry to hear that, obviously, but I promise you, if you buy from him again, that won't be the case. Flipping on Flossa, congratulations. Was that socks I was giving out? I think it was socks. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt as much as I can, especially if they've been on here a long time. And if you look at their other reviews first before you leave one, um, I think it's important to do that, and also think of it from a perspective of a seller. Um, what would you do? What would you think? I guess because it's important to have those great reviews, and not in a disingenuous way. Obviously, I've been banned from shows for winning free giveaways, and I didn't do anything wrong. That's weird. I don't understand that one, Eric. We definitely would need more of a context on that one. To make amends and sing "Kumbaya." Yeah, World's right. Yeah, if the toy man, I would say, like World says, you definitely want to reach out to that seller, and hopefully they'll work it out with you. And I'm sorry to hear that, Toy Fiend Colt, but um, I think it's a great. The toy community on here is 99.9% amazing from my experience, and I'm not even. This is coming from somebody that is not part of that toy community, or is by mistake per se. Is not a collector. You could probably find most of the guys who are in the toy community in the Facebook groups, all the toy groups. You might know each other. A lot of the guys I learned, they all know each other already through all the community stuff that they're in already on Facebook, because it's a small collector universe. and I was welcomed into it by all these great guys and collectors. And I don't know, it just seems like a really good community, especially on here. I feel like there's no shenanigans going on here when it comes to Star Wars and GI Joe and all and Power Rangers, He Man, all that. Every single Transformers, every single person that I've talked to, and I've talked to a lot of sellers and buyers, it's just been really cool and really nice and down to earth people. I've met some at toy shows, I've met them at Comic Con, and again, this is coming from a person that had no experience in this world. Other than the last time I had experience in action figures was when I was like 9 years old. You know what I mean? So I purchased a horse statue this week. It came broke. Why not refund you in 10 minutes? That's incredible. So yeah, I figure I'm gonna stop buying stuff that I can break because as much as I think I'm a great shipper and I do things the right way, I had like some uranium glass break recently, and I was like, man, it's just not worth it. Like, I don't want to send them something from 1929 if it's gonna break, and I have no control over it, even if I pack the hell out of it. It's an opportunity to make amends and Kumbaya. Let's see, I've been banned. I still understand we've been banned. I'm catching up to this. Let's see. Someone else got banned. Glad you get in. Okay. Glad you get it though, Toy Fiend Colt. Oh, I didn't see that you guys made up or something or in that. I didn't see it. Oh, you glad you got the item in. I looked at the calendar. 27th. Oh, here we go. It's Wednesday. Thursday, Thanksgiving. The second was Monday. The only time post office will be open aside. Yeah, that's a good point. So, what's today? The 12th. I mean, if he's across the country, I can see why it would happen. The vast majority of the toy guys here are good people, says World's Wonder. I can't speak on some of the other groups. Yes, I can also say the garbage pail groups, incredible people. You're doing a good job trying your best. Thank you, user. To Toyman. So the second sounds like a long time. Looking at the calendar, it's understandable. Yeah, I get it. It happens. But I bet you next time you order from them, it's going to be way quicker. Friday and Saturday were your shipping times. I mean, that's pretty amazing, Toy Fiend. Yeah, to get that out on Saturday. Not everyone. It sounds like the Toyman might have been out of town or something. Um, but you're right. Like that's the cool thing. Some people could drop off at USPS on Saturdays, which I think is a huge advantage. If you can do that, then definitely do that because it gets you a leg up. Otherwise, I treat things that are ordered on a Friday. They're gonna go out Monday, and that's the reason why I think Whatnot treats it that way too. Let's see. So Eric says he won multiple giveaways for sports cards slabs at the same show, and they banned me and canceled. I mean, that's weird, Eric. There's got to be something we're missing there. Why they would do that? That's illegal, and you should report that seller and see what happens. And they could review the tape and review what happened and see when you got banned. If there's any context, if there's a misunderstanding, maybe. I don't ban anybody. I always joke that nobody gets banned and unreasonable. What do I say? Hold on, because people always write bid responsibly. So I joke. I'm like bid irresponsibly. I'm not going to ban you. It just shouldn't happen. And if it does, you move on. That's a joke that I'm saying bid irresponsibly, but no one's doing that in my shows at least. Maybe that happens in other shows and they do that, so I shouldn't speak on it. But the point is, just trust that Whatnot. Everything's videoed. Everything should be transparent. You know, and you can always resell that item if like their credit card doesn't go through, for example. You can always resell the item. And let's see, if they want to cancel, they made a mistake. Sure, okay, you can cancel it. Obviously, if it's something egregious that they're doing, that's different. I bought bad cards. Let's see. Little buyer said fake. Wait, what? Sold them on my auction. Buyer said fake. I got them their money, but Whatnot hadn't refunded me. Sent 20 emails. That's surprising little, because I've always had good experience with them getting back to you about an issue like that. Like they have to close their tickets out. They do it through Zendesk. So I'd like to hear more about that little close. So you bought bad cards, sold them, and the person realized they were fake. Got it. So that's tough. I think everyone should just be refunded at that point and just start over. Don't put your order next to the weekend or the holidays. I'm just shipping next day because I'm a goofball. Yeah, I mean, that's good. The faster you can get shipped, the better, obviously. Get that stuff out of there. There's nothing worse than having that on your mind. Like, just ship it before you do your next show would be the best way to do it. You got yesterday for an order from the 27th. I mean, that makes sense. Let's see, 5 rings. It happens. Some people also sleep in on Saturday, and yeah, and that's true. The Saturday window is like a bonus to me. If someone ships for you on a Saturday, be grateful. Mail's moving slow right now for sure. Yeah, especially this month is going to be something that I hope people have tons of patience and understanding. As a buyer, you should definitely realize like if you want something by Christmas or holidays or whatever it is, you gotta plan for that. You can't rely on the calendar. You can't rely on the seller. Um, to do that for you. You have to plan for that. Let's see. It's not like Amazon where you can choose your delivery day. I was banned by one of my best friends on this Whatnot account. I mean, is that like a joke? Maybe that's weird. Let's see. I like you being gracious. Let's see. So reselling sellers should not sell a day before the holiday. I don't know, Toy Fiend. I mean, I think you could sell anytime. I think if you, I think the best thing to do is communicate that. Oh wow, yeah, Disappointment. I agree with you. Our 40,000 items sold, 1 day shipping, and 5 stars speaks for itself. And he's saying, I agree. I think that's important. It's not like he's like some, you know, fly by night shit seller that has like a terrible rating, and you can find all sorts of examples of that. You can't in his account, but I don't know. I don't want to like. I just think you sell. I think you communicate it maybe just in case. Like, hey, it's Friday. Your orders won't go out till Monday. Just so you guys know, or maybe you always put it in your notes, something to tell the buyer, so that way you don't have people that will kind of throw that in your face. Especially if it's around a holiday. You want everyone to be understanding that it's a holiday and realize like maybe you're not working your normal work schedule. Maybe you're with family, and maybe he did a show and he couldn't ship till Monday or Tuesday. Um, he's a sole proprietor, for example. Maybe he doesn't have an employees. So I think you have to have some context and understanding when it comes to shipping with a private reseller, basically. I got my order from 11/27 yesterday. I've been buying multiple items since then from the toy man. There you go, Five Rings. It could have been so many things happened. Like there could have been one shipment that he sent, like one truck that maybe was late. One like all his stuff from one show could have been late, and it may not have been his fault. With strict light, all right, it's great, Toy Fiend. Let's see. Closes Whatnot Friday weekend and before holidays. Toy Fiend Colt. Hey, Toy Fiend, what's your account? Do you sell on a different account, Toy Fiend Colt? Let's see. I have packages that post office hasn't scanned. Oh, you receive packages they didn't scan. Yeah, that happens once in a while. We are talking about that before. That does happen, unfortunately. But at least it's getting there. That's the good news. But sometimes that is frustrating. Saturday's also not considered a business day. That is true too. So that would not count against the toy man or any seller. We have fast shipping. Uh, yeah. So when ground instead of priority, there you go. Ex Milo, welcome. They haven't responded to me about my refund. That's weird. I would definitely not. Maybe you've already done this, but I would definitely follow up. What's up, Rook? Um, let's see. Do. Send. Okay, cool. I caught up now. There we go. All right, it's 12. I'd love to keep going too, guys. If there's anything else we can talk about, but I want to get ready for a show. I'd love to have this 21 people. We could put them right into a show and start selling. Maybe I could do that. No, I can't sell to the show. Never mind. We can't do that. Missed out on so many givvies hanging out in here. Oh, I'm sorry, reselling. Thanks for hanging out. Let's do one more givvy at least here. They messed with the wrong bucko. I must have missed the context on that one. Let's do the pack of cards again. Pack cards Pokemon for fun. Way custom wood burning. Thanks for coming in. Custom Word Burning. Let everyone know when your Q&A, your community show is coming up. Custom Word Burning also does these types of shows. 5-star seller. And let's see, combining art with utility. We've been watching all these. If you want to have some fun watching some cool stuff on like YouTube, there's all these. You guys may know this. There's all these like artisans, I would say that restore old toys or old things. And one of the best ones you can find is the one where they restore the X-wing and they restore the Millennium Falcon. There's tons of those kind of channels on YouTube. You'll be amazed what they do, like these rescue and restore kind of channels. And it just made me think of that when I saw custom wood burning. They are, as my daughter would say, satisfying videos. It's incredible to see what they do. That's a little aside there. If you want to enjoy that. And what's cool about those kind of shows is like good for like the whole thing. Everyone can watch that stuff. Like my like 5-year-old daughter enjoyed it, or like your 60-year-old father-in-law will enjoy it. You know what I mean? So a little tip of the day for you that you didn't ask for. Knowledge is power. Great job. Oh, thank you, Little Cloud. Thanks for the help. I know that was not meaning to be a question. Let's see. My business is far from selling toys, but I do sell independently on Mercari. Oh, Mercari, platform that I get rid of toys I don't want. So I got you. You're a collector. Yeah. I mean, this is a good platform to get rid of toys you don't want too, I think. Every Tuesday. Nice. I have Whatnot merch December 30th. Check out Custom Wood Burning, guys. You can get Whatnot merch. Yeah, Custom Wood Burning. I didn't realize this is so silly. That's true, Alan. I was like therapy watching them. I didn't realize that all the stuff they gave. Maybe I didn't read the email or something, but all the stuff they gave for November was supposed to get me over through December, and I missed the note. So I have no more Whatnot merch. Need to get rid of some toys? Worlds of Wonder? I could help you with that, maybe. Let's see. Or you have all these great collectors, obviously. But I would like to buy in bulk if anybody's ever selling anything in bulk, or if you find anything in the wild that has to do with vintage toys or really anything, um, vintage and collectible. If there's something you don't want to deal with or something that you are not a seller of, it's good. Like if you're a I don't know, a vintage jewelry person or a costume jewelry person, and you see some seller that has a bunch of toys. I tell people just send me a picture, see and message me. You can always flip it, and things like that. So I had a guy. One of the best hauls I ever got was a guy he buys mid-century modern furniture, and he bought a storage unit, and he bought the storage unit based on the furniture. And this is like something from TV, and didn't realize that behind the furniture was an epic collection of vintage toys, Star Wars, GI Joe, and I mean epic, like boxes, completes, 500 Star Wars figures, 1,000 GI Joe figures, and he had no idea, and he bought it just for the furniture. So then he has to, find someone. So, no, I'm saying that's going to happen to you, but you never know what you might see in the wild while you're looking for other stuff. Yeah, that was crazy. You could see some of the. I posted some of the videos. It's been a while now. It's been a couple of years on my Instagram and maybe YouTube. I mean, it was nuts. But you were talking about ship. Yeah, I was talking about shipping today. The things we went over. One of the main things we talked about was saving time uh, instead of going to the post office. Like number one, highest tier, get someone to pick up, USPS to pick up, set up pick up online so they come to you. Number two is going to the post office, but bringing the manifest with you that Whatnot provides, creating a relationship with the manager or somebody at the post office where you can give them the manifest and all the packages maybe on the side door. So don't wait in line. The whole point is do not wait in line at the post office. Just waste your day, waste your time, makes you frustrated. You lose your energy. There's nothing good about waiting in line anywhere, especially the post office. So that's number two. The third one would be self-serve kiosk. If you have one of those at USPS, you may as well use that and scan and drop it in the little box. That's a great option. Fourth would be you could just drop them off in that self-serve kiosk. Going to get the scans, but you have to trust that your post office does the scans anyway. So those are the different levels I would think. Find a USPS. Oh, there was one more level, by the way. Annex instead of a main office. Yes. I think A-Langer might mean like the hub, and you just drop it off at the. Yeah, definitely. You could drop it. Time is definitely money. Our time is the most valuable thing that we have. So especially when you're trying to sell on your, run your own business, there's nothing more important. But you could drop off at a hub. Like there's one hub here where I can go to the dock, literally back up my car and drop all the packages up right on the dock, and they handle it from there. The other option, is a little side kind of fun option, would be as long as there's no line, the Staples. Staples accepts USPS and UPS and Amazon returns. So they'll scan them all for you, and they'll give you a coupon for doing it. So if you need anything there too. Times it's important when it comes to buying as well. Yeah, World, you're right about that. Let's see. The winner is Rook 52. What was I giving away? Was I giving away socks or the pack of cards? I can't remember what I did. Was it socks or pack of cards? Probably pack of cards. Rook, baseball or Pokemon? Thinking to pick up, but scared because no receipt. Yeah, I think that everything is documented. There will be a receipt. The person who picks it up is going to scan that. I think they're going to scan the manifest of that pickup, or they're going to scan every package when they come there, more likely. But if you have the manifest, they'll probably do that too. So I think the pickup is your best bet. As long as you're there and you're ready to roll, then go with pickup. Small USPS only handle pickup for packages it can't deliver because it needs signatures. Don't send. Yeah, I mean, if you need any signature, that's a different story. I would probably want to do everything in my power to get that scanned before, it goes out into the universe. Let's see. Thinking of pickup. All right, guys. I'm gonna go on a little bit and sell. Is there anyone we could raid right now in community or in any other stream that you guys recommend? Maybe I'll try to do community raid if there's another show going on like this. But really appreciate you guys hanging out. Like I'd love to talk more. Check out YouTube Springer Collectibles. You can see more of these types of shows as well. Yeah, self-service guests are the best. There's 20 some more videos like this one that are on my YouTube. I would love the support if you guys subscribe, and I'll be doing this probably next month too. There's also a lot of great sellers on here that do this in community tabs, so make sure you save the community tab. You can see custom wood burning. They're going to be doing one. There's a lot of great sellers that give their time to do these Q&As, and they give away a lot of really fun items too, like Whatnot inspired items, Whatnot merch as well. So if you haven't found the community, category, add that to your to your account, guys, and you can check out some fun shows and get a lot of information. And there's also the Discord. If you don't know about the Discord, you might want to check that out too. Email Whatnot or check out on the website. You should be able to download the Discord as a seller, I believe. And that's it. So it's a mini hub for people that don't have to travel. I'm just reading this one here. Rural. Oh, that's interesting, Alan. So I don't have the A Langer. I don't have that here. So that's something you definitely want to look up too, guys. We're gonna go raid somebody. As I always say, thanks for the bids, buys, and BS. But there was none of that. It was just thanks for being with me, guys, today. I appreciate it. I'm John, Springer Collectibles. Thank you, World's Wonder. I appreciate you guys. And hold on. Thanks, guys. See ya. Who can we raid? Philly Flipper, I think, is doing well. He does that show, so we'll raid him. See ya.